You are standing on your porch, or maybe looking at your favorite potted near the window, and you see it. A single black line moving steadily up the green stem. Ants. At first, you might brush them off. But the next day, they are back. A dozen of them. Then 20. They march up from the soil, trace the lines of the stem, and disappear into the upper leaves. They are relentless, organized, and deeply annoying. Your instinct is immediate. You assume they are eating your plant. You assume they are chewing the roots, damaging the stems, or carrying away pieces of the leaves. So, you reach for the spray bottle. You grab the insecticide, the soapy water, or whatever harsh chemical you keep under the sink. You want to wipe the stem clean and break the trail. Stop. Before you pull that trigger, pause. Put the spray bottle down for 1 second, because what you are looking at may not be what you think it is. And honestly, that reaction makes sense. We are conditioned to view a line of ants as an invasion. If they are in the kitchen, they have found a crumb. If they are on a plant, they must be destroying it. But look closely at what these ants are actually doing. They are not carrying pieces of green leaf back down to the dirt. Their jaws are empty. They are not chewing holes in the foliage. They are completely ignoring the flowers. They are marching upward with a very specific destination in mind. And they are not tourists. They are commuters. Because what they are actually doing on that stem is far stranger than just scavenging. To understand what is happening, you have to follow their path. You have to lean in close, past the healthy green leaves, and look under the ones that might seem a little curled, a little sticky, or slightly yellowing. When you flip that leaf over, you will not find a colony of ants tearing the plant apart. Instead, you will find something that looks like dirt. Tiny, soft-bodied specks clustered tightly around the veins of the leaf. They might be pale green, yellow, or almost black. They barely move. To the naked eye, they just look like a disease or a fungal growth. These are aphids, and this is where the story becomes uncomfortable. The aphids are the ones hurting your plant. They are equipped with microscopic, needle-like mouthparts that pierce directly into the plant's vascular system. They are sitting there right now, continuously draining the sap, the lifeblood of your plant, but the sap is heavily pressurized and loaded with sugar. The aphids take the nutrients they need, but their tiny bodies cannot process all that liquid sugar, so they excrete it. They expel a sweet, sticky substance called honeydew. It falls onto the lower leaves, making them glossy and sticky, eventually attracting black sooty mold. But the ants do not let it go to waste. This is not just two random insects sharing the same leaf. This is an agricultural empire operating in miniature on your windowsill. The ants you saw climbing the stem did not find the aphids by accident. They are farming them. The ants walk among the clustered aphids, but they do not eat them. Instead, they gently stroke the backs of the aphids with their antennae. This physical stimulation triggers the aphid to release a perfect, glistening drop of honeydew directly into the waiting jaws of the ant. The ant drinks the sugar water, stores it in a specialized stomach, and carries it back down the stem to feed the rest of the colony. They are milking the aphids, just like humans milk cows. But the strangest part is what happens when danger arrives. If you have a farm, you have to protect your livestock. And the ants are ruthless bodyguards. In the wild, aphids are defenseless. They are slow, soft, and essentially act as biological popcorn for predators. Ladybugs, lacewings, and parasitic wasps will routinely decimate an aphid population in days. But not if the ants are there. When a hungry ladybug lands on that leaf, the ants go to war. They swarm the predator. They bite the ladybug's legs, harass it, release alarm chemicals, and forcefully drive the predator away from their precious herd. They will fight to the death to ensure nobody touches their sugar factory. Some ant species take this control to a terrifying level. If they notice that an aphid is developing wings to fly away to a different plant, the ants will aggressively bite the wings off to keep their livestock grounded. When it rains heavily, ants have been known to carry the aphids to the underside of the leaves to keep them from washing away. And when winter comes, some ants will actually collect aphid eggs, carry them deep underground into their warm nests to survive the freeze, and carry the newly hatched aphids back out to the plants in the spring to start a new farm. Here is the part that changes everything about how you treat your garden. You wanted to grab the spray bottle to kill the ants. But if you wipe away the ants today, you solve nothing. The sugar factory is still open. Tomorrow, a different scout will find the honeydew, and a new trail of ants will form. You will be fighting an endless war against the symptom, completely blind to the actual disease. The ants you wanted to kill are not the infestation. They are the bodyguards hired by the real threat. The ants are actually doing you a massive favor. Because aphids are tiny, camouflaged, and expertly hidden underneath the foliage. Most plant owners never notice an aphid infestation until the leaves are yellow, curled, and dropping off. By the time you see the damage, the colony is massive, and the plant is already dying. But ants are highly visible. A solid, black line marching up a bright green stem is nature's neon sign. The ants are pointing exactly to where the problem is. And here is why that matters for the life of your plant. Instead of spraying the stem and wasting your time on the ants, you can use them as a diagnostic tool. Follow the trail. Let them lead you past the healthy stems and straight to the hidden underside of the exact leaf where the aphids are clustered. Once you find the herd, the solution shifts. You do not need to poison the soil. You do not need harsh systemic chemicals that harm the local ecosystem. You simply target the aphids. A direct spray of insecticidal soap, neem oil, or even a strong blast from the garden hose right onto the aphids will disrupt the colony. When the aphids are gone, the sugar supply stops. And when the sugar stops, the ants will simply leave. They will pack up, abandon the empty farm, and move on. You fix the root cause, and the symptom cures itself. Let that settle for a moment. Think about how many times people mindlessly crush a trail of ants on a rose bush, feeling victorious, while hundreds of microscopic parasites continue to drain the life out of the plant in secret. Think about the energy wasted fighting the security guards while the thieves are actively emptying the vault. Nature rarely does things by accident. A sudden surge of activity in a specific corner of your garden or on a specific indoor plant is almost always a reaction to an invisible shift in the environment. The insects are responding to a resource, a weakness, or a cycle that we are too big and too busy to notice. By taking 5 seconds to observe before you destroy, you tap into that hidden network. You stop acting blindly and start reading the environment the way it was meant to be read. So the next time you are watering your garden and you spot that busy, dark line of ants marching up the side of your favorite plant, do not reach for the scraper. Do not panic. Do not immediately try to wash them away. Trace their steps. Look under the leaf. Find out what they are protecting. If you have ever caught ants farming on your plants, tell me what you were growing when you found them. And subscribe, because the next strange thing you almost wipe away might be protecting your home in a way you never expected.